Alright, welcome back to another TechBiz tutorial. Today we are learning how to do some animations with it could be used for anything, but in this case it's going to be used with a nav menu or something that you could attach hyperlinks to. So I'll go ahead and create new, and I'm just going to call this page animation demo for the title. And I can go ahead and then go to new site, and I did make a folder for this in my HTML practice that I've been working with, and I just called that one animations, so I'll select that folder. And the name of the site will just be called animation demo as well. Alright, then I'm going to navigate up here to File and Save As, and save this web page as index.html, so I can have that entered in there. Alright, so that's to get us started. As we know before, everything in here has been done for us, or for all these main elements for our web page from Dreamweaver. So all I need to do now is I'm actually going to just put all this into the body section here. So I will actually go here to my Insert tab, and I will click on Section. Alright, and then it asks me if I want to give it a class, and I'm going to name that as container. Alright, so down here we have that. It says section class container. Content for class container goes here. So just to give me a little bit of room down here, and actually I don't want there to be those words in that, I will also put in a div in that section. So I'll choose div and give that a class called actually, I'm going to undo this. I will change, my bad, I apologize. Instead of the section having the class as container, I'll call that one buttons. And then in there I will go to div, and I'll give this one the class container. Alright, there we go. And then I'll give myself a little room there on the tag as well. Then I want to choose in there, I'm going to go actually with an A tag. So I'll just type it in here, my anchor. Alright, so there's the A, and then I'll close the A in there with my code, and then I will use this one. I'll type in home, and then for the link I'll go href equals quotation marks, and I'll have this link go back home. I'm actually going to do that with all mine just to make it a little bit easier. So I have an A tag there, and you can see it automatically makes that be underlined like it would as a hyperlink up there, because that is what it is. And then also I'm going to give this href a class. I'm going to go class equals, and then quotation marks, btn space btn hyphen new. Alright, and just to give me more than, one hyperlink on there, I will duplicate that a few times. So I'm not going to make a whole page for this demonstration. I'm just making a little nav menu with some animations, so you can kind of put this into any web page that you want and have it work. But just for my demonstration, I'll just have this be the only thing on the page for right now. Double click and make sure that my div is closed, and that the section is closed, and that the body is closed. So that is all there, correct? And I can go File and Save, and I'm off to a pretty good start. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is go to my CSS designer, and I will add a new source, create a new CSS file, and click Browse, and make sure that this is in that same animations page where I saved my HTML in, and I'll call this styles.css. Alright, link. Alright, so click OK. And now we are in good shape. Okay, so here's the index. Then for the styles, we have that up here. Alright, so over here in my style designer, I'll make sure I have styles.css selected. And to search for a selector, the first one I am going to use is actually going to be body. Alright, so to format that whole thing, and I'll choose background for the property, and I'm going to make the background be black in this case. And font family, I'm going to have that be sans serif. Any kind of sans serif font or typeface that you want to use, or whatever. It doesn't even have to be sans serif. I'm just going to do that for mine. You make yours how you want to. Alright, and then click Save. And just to double check here, I'm going to open that up. Alright, and sometimes you should check it in all browsers. But which I am going to keep this Google Chrome here handy, so that way I can just kind of refresh that as I test that page. Alright, so click Save All, and so far so good. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do for selector is I'm going to use one for container. Alright, and the container is that I'm referring to is this class for my div on here. Alright, so container is selected, and I'm going to choose display flex, and I'll add another property, justify hyphen content, and center. And padding. Oops. I don't need the colon in there because it automatically puts it in there for me. 1 EM. And text align center. Alright, save all. Alright, so we got that moved into the center on there. Alright, and then the next thing I will do on here will be add a selector for .btn. Close out of that. Sorry. Selector. Add. Here we go. .btn. Alright, and that's for that section that these are found in, or the A tag that is inside of that section. Alright, so for the .btn, a few things I'll do here. Color, I'm going to go pound FFF. I can change my cursor, so just to do that, pointer. Font size, I can go 16 pixels. Line height will be 45 px, and max width, come on now, max width, and will be 160 px. And text hyphen decoration will be none. Width will be 100%, and margin will be 10 px to put a little bit of a space in between those. Alright, so file and save all. And just to make sure here that this is working. Alright, so we have those moved. And you know what? I think I will change the text for those, so I'll just have home and then link 1. Actually, this one will be link 2, and then that'll be link 3. And then when I make my other pages, or if I were going to make my other pages, I could do that right here. I could change that from indexhtml to whatever the other pages are called. Alright, so saving that in there. Alright, here we go. Alright, so far so good for that. It's starting to show up. And we had BTN on there now. We can go, this one sometimes would actually work a little better in the CSS itself, so I did accidentally just add that dot buttons container there. So the next thing that I will put, and I'm just going to use my code view, and I have my CSS styles.css selected, so that's what's showing down here. And I can use .btn -new. Alright, and then in here I can use outline 1px solid and outline hyphen color RGBA, and I will use 255 comma 255 comma 255 comma 0 and then after those parentheses I'm going to put in a semicolon, and then outline hyphen, or no, I'm not ready for that yet. Let's go transition is what I will need, and actually this, instead of a 0 up here, I'm going to choose 0.5 for that. Alright, and then transition all 1250 ms cubic hyphen bezier and in there I'm going to type in 0.19 comma 1 comma 0.22 comma 1 and semicolon. Alright, and then after that, now I'm going to put in a hover effect. Let me save my progress here, save all. Alright, so this one here, I'll go dot btn hyphen new colon hover. Alright, so what's going to happen when I'm going to hover over this? One of the items that's going to change is letter hyphen spacing. I'm going to give there a space of 5px. And outline hyphen color will be RGBA, and this will be 255 comma 255 255 0.5 and semicolon. And I'll save this all, and then I can take a look and see if this works. Alright, refreshing. So as you can see, we have home, and then when I mouse over that, it has a pretty cool effect on there that lets the words spread out in there, which is pretty cool. Alright, then to add a few more things here to the BTN hover. So we have letter spacing, we have an outline color, then I'm going to also select outline hyphen offset 15px semicolon, and color will be RGBA, and this is 255 255 255 and 0.5. Alright, and then actually this outline color up here on this one, I'm going to switch this to 0. Alright, so file, save all, and click refresh, and now we have this cool effect. When you mouse over it, you can see how each of those sections of that code works out. The spacing between the letters hovers apart, and then the offset of that rectangle grows, and then eventually that transparency is going to go down to 0, and then the same for each of these. So kind of a cool little animation that you can play around with. This is just kind of bits and pieces from a lot of different demonstrations that I've seen and have kind of played around with, and thought that this combination of them looks kind of cool, and that I thought I would share that out. So play around with it. It's a pretty smooth looking animation, looks pretty decent, and I think could have some cool effects and some cool engagement with your web page. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next tutorial.